Have you ever stared at a picture of the Great Pyramids of Giza and thought how could an ancient civilization, thousands of years ago, build something so massive, so precise, so enduring? For decades, a tantalizing theory has captured our imaginations: aliens. The idea that extraterrestrial beings, with their advanced technology, must have been the true architects of these ancient wonders. It's a story you've probably seen in countless documentaries, books, and late-night TV shows. It's dramatic, it's exciting, and it makes for a fantastic story. But is it true? Today, we're going on a journey to separate fact from fiction, to peel back the layers of mystery and reveal the incredible human ingenuity that is often overshadowed by these sensational claims. We're going to debunk the myth that aliens built the pyramids. The core of the ancient astronaut theory rests on a few key arguments. First, the sheer scale of the pyramids. The Great Pyramid of Giza, for example, is made of over 2 million stone blocks, some weighing as much as 80 tons. How could the ancient Egyptians, without modern cranes and machinery, possibly lift and place these colossal stones with such accuracy? Second, there's the precision. The pyramids are aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal points of the compass. The Great Pyramid's sides are aligned to true north with a tiny fraction of a degree of error. How did they achieve this without GPS or modern surveying tools? And third, some theorists point to strange hieroglyphs, claiming they depict flying saucers or futuristic technology. These arguments create a compelling narrative that our ancestors must have had help from the stars. It's easy to see why this idea is so popular. It feels almost more believable than the alternative, that humans, just like us, accomplish these seemingly impossible feats. So let's tackle these claims one by one, starting with the biggest question: how did they move those massive stones? The image of thousands of people straining to drag enormous blocks across the desert sand seems almost impossible. But what if the sand wasn't their enemy? What if it was part of the solution? A fascinating study published in the journal Physical Review Letters revealed a simple yet brilliant trick. Physicists discovered that wetting the sand in front of a sledge, a device the Egyptians are known to have used, reduces friction dramatically. This means that a much smaller number of workers could have pulled those heavy stones. In fact, one ancient tomb painting from around 1900 BC clearly shows a person standing on the front of a large sledge, pouring liquid onto the sand in front of it. It's not a UFO, it's ancient science in action. They weren't just using brute force, they were using their brains. They understood physics in a practical, hands-on way. But what about lifting the blocks into place, hundreds of feet in the air? The most widely accepted theory involves the use of ramps. Archaeologists have found evidence of various ramp systems at different pyramid sites. These weren't just simple, straight ramps. The Egyptians likely used a combination of designs, including straight-on ramps for the lower levels, and more complex spiral ramps that wrapped around the pyramid as it grew taller. Imagine a winding road going up a mountain. That's the basic idea. By building these ramps out of mud brick and rubble, and then dismantling them as the pyramid was finished, they could systematically raise the blocks level by level. It was a slow, methodical process that likely took decades and tens of thousands of skilled laborers, not slaves as is often depicted in movies. These were respected workers, housed in well-organized villages near the construction sites. We found their bakeries, their breweries, and even their cemeteries. These were real people, with real lives, contributing to a monumental national project. Now, let's talk about that mind-boggling precision. The near-perfect alignment to true north. Did they have an ancient compass from another world? The answer is much more celestial, but a lot closer to home. The Egyptians were master astronomers. They tracked the movements of the stars with incredible accuracy. One simple and effective method they could have used is called the pole star alignment method. By tracking the path of a single star as it rotates around the celestial pole, they could find true north. An observer would mark the stars' rising and setting positions on an artificial horizon. Bisecting the angle between these 2 points would give you a precise north-south line. It's a technique that requires patience and careful observation, not alien technology. They used the sky as their map and the stars as their guide, a testament to their deep connection with and understanding of the natural world. And what about those mysterious hieroglyphs? The ones that supposedly show helicopters, submarines, and spacecraft? This is a classic case of seeing what you want to see, a phenomenon known as pareidolia. The famous helicopter hieroglyph from the Temple of Seti I at Abydos is a perfect example. What we're actually looking at is a palimpsest. That a fancy word for a piece of stone or parchment where an older text has been scraped or washed off and a new one written over it. In this case, carvings made for Pharaoh Seti I were later filled in with plaster and recarved for his son, Ramesses II. Over thousands of years, the plaster has eroded, revealing parts of both inscriptions at the same time. The overlapping symbols create accidental shapes that our modern eyes interpret as familiar objects. It's not a prophecy or a record of ancient technology. It's just a coincidence of erosion and time. No serious Egyptologist believes these are depictions of modern machines. So, if it wasn't aliens, who were the people who built the pyramids? The answer is far more inspiring. They were brilliant engineers, mathematicians, project managers, and astronomers. They were skilled craftsmen, quarrymen, and laborers. They were a highly organized society, capable of marshaling resources and manpower on a scale that is hard to comprehend even today. Building a pyramid wasn't just a construction project. It was the ultimate expression of the pharaoh's power and divinity. It was a national endeavor that united the people, drove innovation, and left a legacy that has lasted for over 4,500 years. To attribute their achievements to aliens isn't just incorrect. It's a disservice to the ingenuity and sheer willpower of our ancestors. It robs them of their incredible legacy. The real story of the pyramids is not about visitors from another planet. It's a story about human potential. It shows that with organization, knowledge, and a shared vision, ordinary people can achieve the extraordinary. The next time you see the pyramids, don't see the work of aliens. See the culmination of generations of human effort and intelligence. See the hands that quarried the stone, the minds that calculated the angles, and the society that made it all possible. The truth is far more amazing than any fiction. The pyramids stand as a timeless monument, not to extraterrestrial visitors, but to the incredible power of human ingenuity. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey into ancient Egypt fascinating, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history's greatest mysteries. Let us know in the comments what other myths you'd like us to debunk next. See you in the next video.